That's good.
And it is live and audio is on.
Oh,
Okay.
great.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys.
I think you should recite after you call to order that we had a 12-minute delay, technical difficulties.
After I do this.
Yeah, you call to order. And
Good afternoon. I would like to call to order the Warwick County Solid Waste Management District Board meeting. The date is August the 21st. We had a slight technical delay. Let's all stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. The first item of business is the roll call.
Terry Philippi, Sarah Seaton, Stacy Franz,
Present.
Greg Richmond,
Here.
Tracy Matthews,
Here.
Charlie Wyatt,
Here.
Jim Miller.
Here.
Third item of business is public comment. Anybody? We do not. Moving on. Approval of the minutes for the July meeting.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. What do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-0. Fifth item on the agenda is the approval of claims.
The claims this month were $304,998.73. Greg did point out a couple of errors in the claims on claim number 12371 and 12373. One of them was made out to the wrong vendor, and one of them was made out or was pulled out of the wrong line item. I will correct both of those, and one of them I will have to void and will be reflective on the next claim docket. The other one I can just correct, and it will be corrected in the current claim docket.
so a person could move to approve with those highlighted corrections.
I move to approve the claims with the corrections that were highlighted.
Second.
All right, we have a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Controllers report.
We ended the month of July with $4,727,701.01.
Repeat that, I'm sorry.
$4,727,701.01.
Thank you.
The first thing that I have on the agenda is HR services. Freddie and I have discussed it. We have also talked with Adam about it a little bit. I have discussed it with Terry as well, about dissolving the interlocal agreement that we currently have with the HR department up here with the commissioner's office, to dissolve that interlocal agreement and seek our own HR support elsewhere to look at to seek bids, to see how much it would cost to get HR support, to outsource it, to see how much it would cost for solid waste to do that.
Why would you do that?
There's just with everything that's been going on with we don't have the support, and we haven't for quite some time.
Oh, okay.
Historically speaking, also the HR solutions that are outsourced are pretty economical, in consideration of the amount of employees that we would need them to cover. So, but the idea or the request that Reagan is making, or the information she's provided, is not to dissolve the interlocal at this time. It's to explore what is available. So I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that Reagan is seeking authority to be able to look into that,
Yes.
obtain the quotes, and then we can discuss dissolving or approving the quotes later.
So should I make a motion?
She's not taking any official action, so a consensus approval of, yeah, you can go out and get some quotes would be more than sufficient.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree too.
I agree.
Good.
All right, there you go.
The next thing I have is a modification of our small business recycling program. We have, currently we service approximately 70 small businesses in Warwick County. This program is costing us $36,860 a year, roughly.
36 what?
$36,860.
Okay.
The approximate revenues generated off that is around $8,400. That's if we recycle everything that comes in.
Which is very seldom,
Yes, 30% of that
30 to 40%.
is contamination. So here's just example. Here's couple pictures if you want to pass those around. This is a bin that came in last Thursday. It was one of 4 bins that came in. This particular bin, it was saturated top to bottom. It was all paper. This particular bin weighed 440 pounds. I had them weigh it just out of curiosity. It was molded, mildewed, and the smell was awful. We see a lot of this. This program, we've been saying for a long time, it needs to be modified. What we would like to do is to allow the businesses to continue to utilize our containers, but to self-service those and have to bring the materials to us so we don't have to pick them up. And all of the schools switch them over to roll-off containers so they can commingle at the schools. And our big roll-off trucks will pick those up so we don't have to service them as often. And hopefully the bins will be able to stay dry, or the materials will be able to stay dry. We will still repair and replace any broken bins as needed at the businesses that choose to keep the smaller bins. And hopefully my projected cost with the schools keeping them, because we have several, 8 to 10 businesses that have roll-offs.
Yes.
And we do generate quite a bit of revenue off of that because it's strictly cardboard. So my projected revenue, if all of the schools participate with the roll-offs and with the businesses that have the cardboard, I project to be $5,300 in revenues with just roll-offs. So, but suspend the 905 truck going out 2 days a week and keep the employees, but pull them in to assist our full-time guys with painting our containers, servicing the wells out at the old landfill property, because we have to keep those mowed down, weed-eated, and keep them cleaned up around it. The seasonal work for mowing and snow plowing, minor maintenance at all the sites, assisting with cleaning of our fleet and picking up parts and just filling in at the processing center if Freddie needs them.
And the other thing, they would have more time available to maintain our totes that do need to be fixed.
Yes. So we would like to just modify this program, keep the employees on for other things, other more needs that we have, and hopefully shift the program a little bit in hopes of cleaner material rather than the contamination that we're seeing come in is what we're hoping to do, is the goal behind it. Hi, Sarah, I'm gonna turn you around. Oh, shoot. Okay, Sarah just got here at 12:22.
And the record would reflect that she's attending with
Virtual.
audio only virtually.
So does anybody have any questions or suggestions on that?
So the containers that we're gonna let them keep and then let them bring to us.
Mhm.
But if they're still like this.
We will suspend them. We won't allow them to
okay,
participate.
That's what I was,
And we will be able to more closely monitor who is causing the contamination.
thank you.
So you mentioned revenue. Do you know how much the cost will go down? It's 36,860.
The cost the bulk of the cost is the employees. We will keep the employees. So what I have with, let me look at here from my notes. The bulk of the cost is 30,000 with the employees. Now, we do have a full-time position open, and I'm hoping this will alleviate some of the pressure on the full-time guys that we have. And I'm hoping to put a part-time CDL driver and operator in place of this full-time position and put these 2 part-time guys in there. So that will offset that full-time position. So there still will be a substantial savings. We have these 2 part-time positions and a full-time position, and we will, in place of that full-time position, be putting these 2 part-timers and a part-time CDL person in there. So we'll be saving with insurance, the benefits is the plan.
Any other discussion? Do we need to make a motion on that, Adam?
Does Freddie, do you have anything to add?
The thing that we want people to understand is we're not trying to punish everybody that participates in the small business. We're not trying to punish anybody. What we're trying to do is get it cleaned up. Some people will think, well, mine stuff's always good, so why do I have to do this? If we're going to do it, we have to do it across the board. We can't just pick certain individuals because we don't know at times who they are, because when we pick it up, by the time the drivers get back, where'd this tote come from? Not sure. One of those type things. Unless we can find information on the business inside the tote, we don't know who it is. Now, the one that she showed you, we definitely know who that one is. But what we want to do is we're trying to clean the system up. We're also trying to keep ourselves within budget. We're also trying to still take care of the community by offering them to keep the totes. We would take the totes out to them, let them keep using it. They would just be responsible to bring the materials to us instead of us out and in. Because sometimes when we go out there, the tote's only a third full. Well, there's no need to get it. So, but we made a trip out there. Now we're using time, fuel, and vehicles. The next one may be 20, 30 minutes away. It's only half full. Why do we need to go out and get it if we don't know?
How big are they, Franny?
There, you see them here in the courthouse down in the basement, the little half totes, if you will. That's the majority of them. Some of them are the taller brown one, which is primarily for cardboard.
Uh-huh.
That's the different sizes. Also, right now, we don't have enough people to where we can have enough when they're broken because of misuse. Or where they're stored at, how they're rolled around and everything. We don't have people on site to be able to fix them. So with these 2 people, by staying in the shop more, they could be the ones that actually have the time to maintain them and everything.
Do the totes have lids on them?
The totes all have lids, yes, sir.
So
but
they're
majority of the
weatherized.
people, and I'm probably going to offend somebody, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Some of the biggest culprits of who put the contamination in or just leaves things open so that it all gets wet when it rains is the schools. That's our biggest that I know of for a fact. Because you have paper in there, you have the juice packs in there, you have the shavings from the pencil sharpeners in there, you have ink pens in there, you have everything in there. And you have garbage in there. And a lot of them are wet. So by going to the roll-offs where they can just shut the door instead of having to put a top on it and everything, we're hoping that one, by commingling, we can get more in there instead of these little bitty totes, because when you go to all these different schools, when they've got 4 to 6 totes each, that's a lot of time. It's a lot of time consuming for travel, for picking up if they're full. So this way we give them 30-yard roll-off, hard top, so that they can fill it up. Driver goes out once every couple of months, comes, drops it at my building, takes it back. They start over. It's not every other week or every week or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking at. We're just trying to conserve and move forward.
But we'd still pick them up? Is that what you're saying?
The 30-yard containers,
The
yes,
roll-offs, yeah.
because
Okay.
that would take our roll-off truck.
Well, I'm just wondering about, are they too big for, how would they haul them in? Are they too big to,
Which ones?
I guess I'm having a hard time
The smaller
visualizing them
containers.
being able to bring them.
It would be difficult for them to, how I'm envisioning that is cardboard, things like that. They would have to, it would be difficult for them to get those containers into their trucks. It would be.
Okay.
They would have to, I'm envisioning them using it more for storage, and then they would have to load it into their truck to bring it out to us. Now, if it's paper, they would almost have to bag it. It would be a little more of a little more work on them to be able to do it. And I think we would lose quite a few of the recyclers.
Mhm.
But the ones who truly want to recycle, I think they would put the extra work in to do it. One thing that we did try to do that we've implemented over the last year is we modified the agreement that we have, which puts steps into place. If their material is contaminated, our guys try to document if they notice it's contaminated, if their boxes aren't broken down, things like that. They try to document that on their paper. The person that's over the program will reach out to them and give them, hey, and just get in contact with them and let them know and remind them, hey, you need to make sure that you're breaking your boxes down. They'll take pictures of it and we'll send them the pictures similar to this. They were reached out to over that. Just trying to get in touch with them and letting them know, hey, we're not going to tolerate this. You have to clean this up. We can't take material like this. We have done that with numerous businesses, and we're still seeing material like this.
So the board member, if they were inclined to do so, would be able to make the motion to approve the proposed changes.
So moved.
Second.
Greg was first.
Craig was quicker.
Greg,
He's quicker than I am.
Greg was quicker.
he has to move out of the way of people.
I had to move.
Okay, we have a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And we do not plan to roll this out until,
I may, one thing to do. We're not just going to arbitrarily shut
Yes.
everybody down immediately.
I didn't think you
We're
would.
going to notify people what's going to happen, give them to the end of September to make their decision as to whether they want to continue with it or not, and then we will go from there.
Sounds
It's
good.
not going to be hey, by the way, you're not getting this.
Oh, thanks, Freddie.
the next thing I have is the website. I brought that up at the last meeting. So I did look into GoDaddy. GoDaddy for the first year, they have a special when you sign up with them for the first year. I think it was a huge percentage off. It was $119.88 for the first year. Second year after that is $203.88. That is for the website builder, so we can put everything into it. We can implement it and set everything up ourselves. In addition to that, I think it was $21 for our domain that we paid for in November that we will continue to pay for through them. The last company that I reached out to about updating the current website we have, to update it was $1,200. They would continue to maintain it. There was also an additional monthly maintenance fee to go along with that. To completely redesign the website, it was $3,900. I would prefer to go with GoDaddy. I don't want to spend all the extra money. We can handle it in-house. Then we can just add everything as we're going, and it updates as we go. That's part with GoDaddy. It updates all the plugins. There's no monthly fees. That's just a flat annual rate, and it takes care of everything for us.
Who currently does your website?
We have one. It's out there. Axiom had done it for us previously, but we didn't pay the monthly maintenance on it, so it doesn't function.
Okay.
we can't do anything with it.
And the domain fee of $21, is that
It's
monthly or
through
yearly?
GoDaddy. That's annual fee of our
That's-
domain.
That's really good.
Yes. So I would like to go with GoDaddy. Anybody we hire is going to be, we're going to pay a substantial for web design we're going to pay some substantial fees. With GoDaddy, our employees are going to do it. We don't need anything. We're not selling anything online. There's not any fees, payments or anything. It's very basic, just information that we're putting out there. So I would like to go with the GoDaddy just for the cost savings of it. I feel like just so we have a platform to put information out to the public is the most important thing.
Any discussion? Anybody want to make a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Is the motion to approve the selection of GoDaddy?
Yes.
We have a first and a second to approve. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
Hey, Adam,
Yes.
quick question. Is Sarah being included on the votes or not being?
I didn't hear an audible response on the votes, but I will say that in my notes I reflected, and I don't know if you were going to ask me about it, but
I see her
she
now.
appeared later on. And
She's
so I
waiting.
said she appeared via audio at 12:21 and then via video at 12:24.
Oh,
But
okay.
that's when I first
Yeah, and I
noticed
wouldn't
it.
have known that she was on video. Okay,
Yeah.
so.
I see her now. So should I say 6-0?
Did you vote on, okay, we can't hear her.
On video.
I can't
Okay,
hear.
yeah. She voted, okay, so it is 6-0,
Sorry.
and she is present via video at
Would be
this time.
6-0.
At least,
Items 2 and 3.
and just for clarification, Sarah, did you vote yes on the small business recycling program modification?
Yes.
Okay, all right, yep, so those can be recorded as 6s.
Thank you for those clarifications.
Sorry, Sarah.
Okay.
Let me turn you up.
All right.
Okay, the next thing, cost for additional express personnel. I looked into this for the remainder of this year. The cost for the 4 additional personnel is $56,295. With the vacant positions that solid waste has had looking back over the year so far this year and with the health insurance benefits that we have not paid. We've had one retiree drop off of our benefits that was budgeted for the entire year. And what I am projecting the benefits will cost for the rest of this year with the personnel that we plan on having, we can cover the $56,295. I will likely need to do an out-of-line transfer later in the year to cover that, but we can cover it.
And that would be contractual services or
I will need to pull.
payroll to contractual services?
So, and for 2026, the cost would be $168,480. We'll need to sit down, take a close look at the budget and do some figuring on that for 2026 to determine where we're at with that. But for the rest of this year, we have a plan. So the PTO payout, we have, we have a couple employees that are in the handbook. It states you can sell back 80 hours annually. It says in our handbook that has to be submitted to the county council administrator by October. Does that apply to solid waste? How does that work for solid waste? I wanted to ask those questions before time comes, so I had answers on that.
I don't believe that the county council has the authority to say yay or nay to a budgeted in employment expenses that we would face here within the district. They do over the county by statute, but the statutes relative to us aren't the same. My suggestion would be to allow me to take a look at that
Okay,
so I can be definite and then report back on that issue at the next meeting.
I just wanted to get on that ahead of time. The next thing I have is the Bitco risk control assessment. Jessica Price, she comes in from Florida, is that right? I think.
I think so.
She is she comes and assesses all of our safety at the disposal center and the recycling center, and just gives us recommendations and does a overview of everything. She actually sat in on our safety committee meeting this last time that she was here. The report is in your packet. She's a huge help. She's free through our insurance company. The recommendations that she had was telematics in our trucks this time, and the hearing test at the processing center, which she has recommended before. We are having a really hard time finding somebody to do that. So those were her recommendations this time. She was very helpful in the safety committee meeting. So that was just a report only, just to give you guys a copy of her report that she submits.
Very positive.
Yes, she's wonderful.
Yeah,
She's very
looks
helpful.
really good.
What's her name? Jessica what?
Jessica Price.
Price.
So the next thing is the salary resolution, and I did notice on the salary resolution at 2025-03, it should be 04. I know. On this, the only thing I have done, and this is something that we had discussed in the safety committee meeting. We currently have, previously one of our CDL truck drivers was one of our safety liaisons. I am wanting to move, and our safety liaisons are, 50 cents more on the hour. I'm wanting to move that 50 cents over to Tiffany Hall and put her, she is it OSHA 10 certified? She is OSHA 10 certified, and put her as a safety liaison. I'm wanting to put her over all of our first aid. And with doing that, she will be in charge of all of our first aid kits, all of our eye wash stations, oversee all of that. And within 3 years, by the time we finish out all of our agreements with Cintas, and we do not sign those agreements again, we will see a $9,000 annual savings on that with putting her over that and overseeing all of that, rather than continuing to have Cintas handle all of that for us. So I'm wanting to give her that 50-cent pay raise to handle all of that. And that was, in the long run, will save us quite a bit of money. So that's the only difference on that salary resolution, is I moved it from the mechanic heavy equipment truck driver 3, which was Sean. I took it from there and moved it up to the office manager.
So move.
Second.
So the motion's to approve resolution 2025-04.
Yes.
All right, we have a first and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. 6-0. I heard Sarah.
And the last thing I have is an open position at the processing center. We recently have had the assistant down there, that position was open. We did hire somebody. That person has since left. The person that was in that position previously has contacted us and wants to come back. He wants to come back. I have posted it internally for 3 days. No one that is currently employed by the district is interested in the position. I would like to skip the external posting. He has already had all the training with Green Machine on the equipment. He has already worked on the equipment, has the experience, and I would like to get permission to just hire him on directly, so Freddie has the relief and the support that he needs down at the processing center.
So everyone is aware the typical posting requirements are 3 days internally, 5 days externally, and then you select your people and conduct interviews if you have qualified personnel or applicants. That is a policy that's put in place by ourselves. It's not a statutory mandate. So the board has the ability to suspend that if there's some type of exigent circumstance. Reagan, Freddie's been working a lot of extra hours, right?
Yes.
And when we say a lot, maybe like 20 a week potentially,
Yeah,
or
probably more.
10
maybe.
plus, 20 plus a week more than regular and salary. He's a salaried employee, which that in and of itself is not the greatest thing to put an employee through. But in addition to that, there's fatigue. Fatigue gives way for potential risk. There's other factors, right? It's not just the fact that this guy is qualified. Clearly, he had the job before, but there are other factors involved. In consideration of the fact that it has been posted internally and nobody has expressed any interest, and the fact that it's putting an undue burden on one of our current staff members, one or more of our current staff members, and such a burden, an increased burden could give rise to some level of risk that could come as a result of that. That the board would have the ability to approve the hiring of a person to fill that position, or authorize the hiring of a person to fill that position. Are you in charge of the hiring? Like how, or is it Freddie do the hiring?
So I mean,
Kind
I
of
guess
a little
it's
bit of
not really-
both.
Yeah, it's not really established.
Yeah, so authorize Freddie and Reagan to perform the hiring of this past employee that is highly qualified for the role, and in order to do so, to suspend the policy requiring the external posting so that the job can be filled immediately. And by immediately, you would be shooting for what time period? Monday. And is the applicant potentially available for that? So that technically could be a motion, but I think I might not make it back to my office if I had it worded so long. I might get beat up. So it would be essentially, if a board member was inclined to accept that and make a motion to approve, the motion would be to suspend the current hiring policy to enable Freddie and Reagan to hire the past employee who is so qualified for the position with a start date effective Monday based upon exigent circumstances.
So move for this exception.
Second.
We have a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Thank you. Next up, superintendent's report.
Adam, is Kevin under yours?
Technically it can be. So Kevin told me yesterday that he'd be able to come, so I wasn't gonna have Reagan change the
And I'd
agenda.
like to, if you don't mind, forego me coming up right now and ask Kevin to
Sure.
go ahead since he's traveled to get here.
Sure.
Sure.
And technically, under superintendent's report, it's not necessarily listed, but Freddie's overseeing the phase 2 electric project from the superintendent's perspective. And so it's not listed, but Kevin is here to give us an update.
Goes right in there.
Thank you for accommodating me today. I'm here a couple months ago. My name's Kevin Allen. I'm with Aegis and been helping Freddie and Joe Sims get the Sims Electric, get the phase 2 electrical. Quickly recap this. When we started installing the green machine, we stumbled across a power shortage, and we worked through that. And now we've got a package here that's 90% plus ready to go to bid to improve that power availability to the recycling facility. I think that existing transformer sitting outside is, what was that, Brady? 360 kilowatts? And 300. Long story short, we've got everything designed, upgraded, and CenterPoint will be installing a 750 kilowatt transformer for the recycling facility and potentially some other things that are on the wish list for the future, so this won't happen again. I can leave these with you, a couple sets of the drawings. They're not going to explain a lot. It's not like you're looking at a floor plan of a house. Looking at electrical circuitry diagrams and such. And I'll leave a copy of this with you, Adam. I got 3 copies here, I'll leave for you to peruse.
I was hoping that was 3 copies or more.
Well, I will email you the full thing because we've got generic front-end documents. This 45 pages is our typical bid documents. So people put their quotes in. It goes through things like your insurance, your bid bond, performance bond, payment schedule if awarded. All that kind of stuff is in what we call the front-end documents. Believe it or not, There was another 300 pages in this front-end document that I did not print, but it'll be in your email for review.
Can't wait.
Giggle all you want.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You
I'm
lawyers-
sure it's as dry as can be.
You lawyers are the reason it's there. And then also the project-specific electrical specifications, which Mr. Sims has put together, and took a quick look at. All that's said and done, with the one caveat, is that we are still waiting on an answer from CenterPoint that everything meets their approval. I saw a couple of emails back and forth. I wish I could remember her name, but she's communicated with me and Freddie that they are looking it over. We expect a positive response any day. And with that caveat hanging out there, we're ready to put this out for bid within 30 days. These are all 90% plus ready to go. The thing we're holding up on is CenterPoint's final approval. And with that, any questions?
It's hard to believe that you're waiting on CenterPoint.
I'm not going to comment.
I can't.
Okay.
I can't.
Was everyone here when I was here before about the proposed accessory building and everything?
I
Explained all
believe
that?
so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Because we did include, and you'll see it on this, if you look at this one plan sheet, you'll see that we have incorporated possible future solar panels on the new building and that sort of thing. So it's all incorporated. When this is done, if you put that future accessory building in, it's all ready to go with the truck docks, the small office, solar panels, minimal air conditioning, so it doesn't get really rank. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So it's all is taken care of, as well as, Freddie, some additional power allocation for some air handlers that would go in above the new green machine. Because if you ever baled hay in Haymow, you get up close to the top, it's hot up there. So we've got some power allocated to maybe put some air handlers, maybe a couple small air conditioners, so you can just like maybe put, I don't see them in here, but I like to call them ribbon vents. They're just a long, thin ribbon vent that just sort of lets some cool air flow down, and we'd align those right over top of the workspaces. So you wouldn't be trying to circulate air through the entire building. It would just be there over where the workers are upstairs. Of course, then it helps as cool air drops, it gets down the floor and helps everybody.
Yeah.
But it would be focused on where the workers are at. So no other questions. Thank you for your time. And I will leave these with Freddie and Adam.
So just out of curiosity, if you think that you're ready to prepare or release a request for proposals out in 30 days, the likelihood of us being able to approve the paperwork at the next meeting, which is approximately 30 days, is probably not great. So maybe we would be able to have it issued in 60 days. Does that make sense?
I think we will have our package ready in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Again, with the caveat that CenterPoint gets back to us. So me and you and Freddie would have to get together and we could push this forward. We'd have to get your local newspaper cycle, you know, put it out and on the public notice, I'm sorry. So with the being advertised locally in your local newspaper, whatever media you use to put those types of projects out. County Commissioner's Office, County Auditor probably has that set up with the paper and do all that. We'd have to get their notification cycle checked, but there is a very good possibility, I think, that your next meeting, we can say this is ready to go and you can vote to approve this advertisement.
Sounds good.
Does the standard do one a week?
I think it's 1 week. Yeah.
I feel like if my memory's right,
I thought
I
it was
could be
10
wrong.
days.
Huh?
I thought it was 10 days.
It's been so long since I've done it. It's been several years.
The standard only publishes once every 10
No, they
days.
publish once a week,
Yeah.
but I thought you had to give them notice 10 days in advance of the
I
publication.
I think you might be right.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with us giving advance notice of a publication, even though we may not be fully ready, because we could always retract it. But I think that we have to advertise twice, and since they only publish once a week.
Yeah.
Then we have to give 2 weeks notice plus 10 is 24 days, which is only 6 or 7. from
Well,
now.
then you are gonna push that 30 days.
Yeah,
Okay, so
I was just
I'll
worried.
leave that
Yeah.
scheduling
Yeah.
with you guys.
Yeah, so,
I'm-
but
I'm just not
that's,
familiar
and I wasn't being critical. I was just trying to
Sure.
I was trying to make sure everybody's expectation wasn't that we would be sending out an RFP or an RFQ, which however you'd call it. I wanted to make sure that based upon some of these other circumstances, we can talk about it and get it completely nailed down, most likely in 30,
Yes.
and then have it authorized potentially by the 60-day mark from now.
So I'll go with his suggestion.
Okay.
Okay.
That's all I had. Thank you for the update.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Allen.
Look forward to seeing this completed.
This should be done by 1 January.
Construction schedule, I'll ask that of Mr. Sims and get back to you.
How long does he think it will take?
I've not talked to him in the last few days about that. Again, the email was confirmation from CenterPoint. We got to get our estimate together, and I'll add that to his questions.
I think that Joe reported at the meeting that he attended that it, based upon the lead time of the supply for some of the materials required, should be less than 6 months.
Okay.
I mean, when they talked about it a year ago, it was 18 months.
Well, yeah, this is not something you're going down to Lowe's and buying a 2x4 and a breaker panel.
Mhm.
So, yeah, the lead time on some of this equipment is horrendous.
Just let me know what you find out about CenterPoint if you run into a problem.
Sure.
And then I'd like to try and loop in some other people to try and
Sure,
explain the need.
Yep. absolutely. Okay. Again, thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Allen.
All right, my stuff is going to be fairly short. You have the numbers in front of you. This is a corrected document. Back in June, when we reported, we was at 7-point-something% contamination. But during that month, we also had Green Metals / Toyota, however you wish to call it, bringing their trucks. And then we had some contamination from them. So when we go back and look at June's, technically we are 13.37% contamination. And we're not supposed to be over 10%. For this month, it has come back down. The primary reason for that is Toyota really hasn't come back yet because I'm holding them off. I want to see if that is what is my biggest concern. I'm not going to get their share of recyclables if I'm going to be their disposal person, because that's going to count against us every time that happens. And here lately, the 4 times in June, their average was about 45 to 50% contamination. We can't have that. We just can't do it. So I'm going to run it one more month to see what the numbers come out with. Other than that, everything's running fine as far as within the facility. We had some minor issues last week. We were down for a day or two, but we got it back up and running. The next thing is asking for bids to get a baler to replace our small manual baler. It is approximately 17 to 18 years old. It was refurbished, used, if you will, when we purchased it 11 years ago. So it has seen its better days. Right now, we're averaging about $2,500 a month in repairs on it because it just keeps, well, getting older, if you will. For the amount that we are running with it, it's going to keep doing its this current situation that it's in. I would like to get with Miss Sherry to set up and asked for bids for a 2-ram baler, which is like our bigger baler, which is an auto tie baler. Right now, for me to run a bale of plastics, number 1 PET, start to finish to get enough in there with this baler, it takes me approximately an hour and a half to an hour and 45 minutes just to get the bale formed. Then by the time I get up and get the holes and everything punched, get the wires run through it and hopefully get the wires through the first time and all this good stuff, total, it's taken about 2.5 hours to make a number 1 bale. A number 2 bale of colors or number 2 of milk jugs, you can double that time. To where with these 2-ram auto tie, you've actually cut the time in half. It's just something that I'd like that permission to look at and go from there and come back next month and say, this is what we would like to do.
Any discussion?
I think it makes sense if we can afford it.
I agree.
Do you have a general idea how much it's going to cost? Can you report that?
It depends, right now, it depends on the size of the motors. They have 20 horsepower, 30, 40, and 50 and 70s. My recommendation would be at a minimum 40 horsepower or 50. Reason being, our other baler is 11 years old. It's still running. It's an awesome machine. Don't get me wrong. It's an awesome machine. But if something should happen and we have to wait for maintenance to come in because they're out of Chicago, I believe, we'd have to have another baler big enough to do everything.
What's the horsepower rating on the other baler?
Our, the one we have, I don't know. It's not a 40 horse, I can tell you that.
So I asked Reagan where the money would come from. This is for purposes of helping the board. If the board is interested in making a motion to, well, essentially it would be a consensus question, but what needs to be done though by motion, in my opinion, would be that based upon the cost, Reagan is likely going to have to seek a drawdown of some of the funds that are sitting in the general account that haven't been budgeted for this year. And I think that requires county council approval.
Yes.
So I think that the motion, one would be consensus if you're interested in Freddie pursuing that. Maybe a quote for a 40, 50, 60, see what they got. Lead times too,
Lead times running right now, from what I remember researching, is anywhere from 45 to 90 days.
And then have Freddie in that consensus work with Jerry for the development of those quotes. And then, but I think a motion needs to be made to authorize Reagan to communicate with State Board of Accounts and draft the required documentation that would need to go before the county council for an additional appropriation, which I don't see that they would have a problem with it necessarily because it's a drawdown of the funds that we're holding anyway. But I do believe they need to approve it. And we don't know what the dollar amount is going to be, but she needs to initiate the process with State Board of Accounts to get ready to fill in that blank at the next
It will
meeting.
be a minimum $350,000, $450,000.
And with, depending on how much the project cost with phase 2, since we are not doing the generator, there is funds in the budget that we budgeted for the generator, that since we're not getting the generator, there is funds there for that. So it's really going to depend on
What the cost would be.
what the cost is going to be of that project and what the cost is going to be of the balers. So it may not be, it will not be the full cost of the balers.
The additional appropriation that
Yes.
you'll need.
Mhm.
But essentially the consensus is for Freddie to work with Sherry to develop the quotes for, and a board member could suggest whatever they want. But if Freddie's saying, they offer multiple powered level devices. So that could be whatever the board's pleasure is. I mean, you could ask them for price for every single one of them, for the dual rams.
Yeah.
just to see. But then the other is that Reagan needs to be authorized, and I think that would be by motion, authorized to communicate with State Board of Accounts about initiating the process to do a potential request for additional appropriation from the council for monies that are existing within our general account. Is that
I can make that motion.
Okay.
Give her that authority.
second?
Okay, we have first and second on the motion for Reagan to seek approval. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And then the consensus, does that need to be separate?
That's just a voice, like, yeah, go ahead, just like we did earlier.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm good with it.
I'm good.
And you have a consensus, Freddie. Thank you. Item number 8, attorney's report.
Well, Freddie came in and stole my thunder when he brought Kevin on stage. So, but nothing, I have nothing to report today.
Okay. Is there any other business that the board would like to bring up?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Right, first and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion adjourned. I mean, meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
I went for a glass of
All right. Yeah, I think the,
Newburgh left.
This is a great one.
I didn't see him.